races to watch.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the sheriff.
Yeah, sheriff.
Yeah.
The judge's race is between the current sheriff now, who's retiring from there and want to come over to the fiscal court. I think that the sheriff has been in office for a long time. You know exactly what you're going to get with Craig Peoples. The way he ran his sheriff's department, sheriff's office, it's not the department, it's the office. The way he ran the sheriff's office is the way he'd run the fiscal court. I just don't know if people in Pendleton County want 4 more years of the way Craig ran the sheriff's office, like in the fiscal court. They voted for Bevan. They voted for Trump. People that haven't been around for a long time. David has not been around as long as the sheriff. So I think David, just the way that the mindset of the people, the voting tendencies are right now, I think David will hold on to that seat. Now, there were a few years back where if any incumbent ran, they were going to lose. So, with that being said, I think David's in a safe seat. And there really hasn't been a whole lot of talk in the community, listening about what's going on about much of any of the local races. So I don't know how that'll turn out. I don't know how the sheriffs or any of the other local races will turn out. But
well, what about Eddie Quinn?
Eddie, yes. The sheriff's race is a former sheriff's deputy who's currently working in Cynthiana versus the chief deputy under Craig, which is Todd Deany.
And Eddie came out of a primary. What were there, 4 Republican candidates? There's a huge number running for sheriff in a Republican primary.
Exactly.
That 20 years ago would have been 0.
0. Yeah. the current sheriff would have just won, or the sheriff's deputy would have won. But again, that's another reason why this is a historical year for Republicans. We're getting primaries. I mean, Josh Plummer won in a 3-way race in District 2. That was a primary in District 3. So there's been Republican primaries. There's reasons for Republicans to go out and vote now, which 10 years ago there wasn't. If you were a registered Republican, there was no such thing as a primary. You just had to go vote for a Democrat in November, So, but now it's not that way anymore. It's not that way all across Kentucky. But Eddie Quinn, again, younger, fresh eyes. He's worked here in the county. He knows how things work. He knows the county. He's from the county, but he's also worked outside of the county long enough to learn new things. It's not a bad thing to try to bring new ideas in. And again, if you want the same old from the sheriff's office, I think your vote should go to Todd. And I know Todd, great guy. Been nothing but very friendly to me my whole life. I can't, and that's something else about personal the politics at the local level. Don't make it personal, because you have to live with that person. You have to live next to that person, whether they win or lose, whether you win or lose. I mean, talk about the issues. Talk about why. Don't talk about them. Talk about why you're better. Don't talk about why they're bad. Talk about why you're the right choice. And I think if, for the most part, here in Pendleton County, both sides, the Republicans and the Democrats, do that fairly well. We haven't seen real negative campaigning like you do at the state or the federal level, because you might not ever talk to that person. But when you attend Sunday school with someone or something like that, it gets you have to see them at the class reunion. You don't want to put them down.
So do y'all have any events planned? Any meet the candidates? Anything coming up between now and I think it's November 6th is the general election day?
The general election is. However, we don't have any events on the Republican side planned right now, like fundraisers or anything. Well, I do know Senator Schroeder's trying to have something in Pendleton County in September with Congressman or with Commissioner Ryan Quarles, our agriculture commissioner, and I would like to come back next year and talk about the state offices. That's the lieutenant governor, treasurer, all those races. If you'd have me back, but we don't have anything planned as a party. But I do know Senator Schroeder's trying to do something in September with Commissioner Ryan Quarles. Our party wants to do more like last night at our meeting. We took up, we did a back to school drive, and I have a trunk now full of backpacks, pencils, pens. My trunk is literally full of school supplies that we're going to donate half to the North Family Resource Center and the other half down here to the South Family Resource Center in Falmouth. We'll probably do a canned food drive around Thanksgiving again. A few years ago, we sent care packages to soldiers who were stationed overseas. We like to do more things like that. Now, we don't take party money and pay for any of those things. Our members donate to that, and then we as the party donate that to people that need it. And so that's what we try to do. We don't put anything in there political. We just say, here's a gift. This is something that I know you need. Take it on behalf of us and use it how you see fit, whatever you would like. But we don't do anything with party funds like that. On September 7th, I think it's a Friday, we're going to meet, our executive committee and some members are going to meet on the road up there that we sponsor to pick up trash. And so we want that highway, that part of the road clean before the Wool Fest. So we do things like that. Again, we feel like you should not only talk the talk, but walk the walk. If you want what's best for the community, get out and do it yourself. Next month, we are not going to have a meeting. We voted not to, so our candidates can be out, take that evening, knock on doors, campaign, go talk to people, get out your message and things like that. But we do meet every month on the third Tuesday at 6:30 at Howard's Place in Falmouth, the little room there off to the side. And actually, anybody's welcome to come. Republicans, Democrats. We don't have any secrets. We just kind of talk about issues and have like a old man gripe session every once in a while. And it's a fun meeting. People will just go get ice cream and come in and eat ice cream, and we'll talk and listen and get on the elected officials and say, I read in the Outlook that you guys were going to do this. Is that right? And we make them, they politely answer and that sort of stuff. So it really is a good group of folks. I mean, can I go over who's on the executive committee?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Our vice chairman is Don Wenzel. He's a farmer. He's a retired engineer. Very knowledgeable man. Our secretary is Rick Brown. He's also retired. Josh Plummer, the one running for office, he's our current treasurer. Does a great job. He's actually a finance guy at Carey Chevrolet. And so what better type of person to have on a fiscal court than somebody that does finance and knows the dollars and cents and how to make it work. I think that's another great plug as to why Josh should win. But we've had some great leadership in the past. Bill Virax, Mark Hart, Bill Roseberry, all three of those guys at one point were the chairman. When we started, there was a lady from over in Gardnersville area. I think it's Gardnersville, but her name was Trula Jones. She was very involved in the Kenton County Republican Party, moved down here and was kind of a driving force behind revamping the Republican Party here. But Trula did a great job of being some experience. When I didn't have the experience, she had the experience. And I had the energy to where she would say, why don't you do this? And I would take off and do it. And that was exactly what I needed when I was starting. So we we've got a pretty good thing going right now, I think, as the Republican leadership. People continue to change over. We had 30 people at 28, I think, last month in July go from Democrat to Republican. The Democrats lost 17, and the others picked up 2.
And that's in the county.
That's in the county.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's in the county. So every month there's between 20 and 30, 35 registrations changing. The Democrats are continuing to go down. The Republicans are continuing to go up. Now, I was going to say this earlier and I forgot, but also the Democratic, the old line, the Roosevelt Democrat, they're getting up there in age, and they're actually passing away faster than they can register new ones. That's one reason why the Democrat numbers are going down. You might pick up 10 registrations, but you've lost 30. Not just month, but that might be annually in small rural counties. But that's another reason why the Democrats are going down. It's that generation isn't lasting that long anymore. And
I know we ran a story that there was a release from the state, I think it was from Allison Grimes' office, who had talked about for the first time in a long, long time that the number of registered Democrats in the state of Kentucky dropped below 50%.
yes, yeah,
Which was, as a lifelong Democrat whose family traces back to whenever we came across to this country,
Yeah.
was probably Democrats, was a very surprising number
Yeah.
that had done that. So.
And it's not so much that the Republicans have all the answers and they're doing everything great, because I can't, with a clear conscience, say that they do. I don't think that the Republicans are right on everything. I'm a registered Republican because that's what I'm closest to. But I also have to be honest with myself and the viewers and the world that just the Democrat demographic is aging out. And again, the Republicans are the ones that come in and are registered. All they've known for the past 8 years was Obama, and it wasn't working. So they came in on the Republican side. I do think that the younger generation thinks more for themselves when it comes to the politics, because you'll see a lot more younger folks be socially liberal but fiscally conservative. So they don't care about same-sex marriage or legal marijuana or a wet dry vote or anything like that. But don't mess with their money either. Don't tell them how to spend their.
So it's a new mutated.
It is.
Voter.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
And that group is registering more Republican now because the things I've said, the same-sex marriage, well, that's legal. So they don't have to argue for that anymore. They don't have to argue for legalized marijuana because in certain states, if they want legal marijuana, they'll go to Colorado or wherever else it is. They'll just, if that was their issue, they'll pack up and move. Mm-hmm. They're not like the old generation that, well, this is where I'm from, this is where I'm going to stay, and I've got to change the situation around me if I don't like it. They'll go to a situation that suits them better. So that's why I was a social studies teacher to begin with. That's the kind of stuff that I love to study. It's like, why is this working? And that's why I love politics. And that's just a little part. The politics is just a little part of the big sphere. You got to look at economics and history, geography. Why does all that stuff come together? And that's the picture. That's what I look at with my eyes and try to
So
see.
do you ever have any aspirations to run for an office?
Everybody always asks me that, and they always, when I walk in, they always say, here comes the politician, and I say, I'm not a politician, I just work for one. Do I want to run for office? I can't say yes or no at this point, and I tell everybody that. I say I don't know. I never would have thought that I would have been here where I am now, and I'm very happy and satisfied with where I am. So I don't know if I'll ever run. The good Lord's blessed me with a lot where I am, and I love what I'm doing. I meet great people. I work for a great man, Senator Paul, and I'm having fun. And it's like I'm not working. I'm doing what I love.
Gotcha.
And you know, a lot of older folks say if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, and that's true. So I'm happy where I am, and I also get to help people. You know, if you're having problems with the VA, with your father's benefits and things like that, absolutely, and that's what I love. I pick up the phone a lot and hear a lot of bad things. People calling and they don't like what the senator's doing. They don't like what the Republican Party's doing. They don't like what the governor's done, which again, I can't help. But the calls that I get where people will say, you know what, your lady in Bowling Green put me in contact with so-and-so, and the whole situation's worked out. I've been working on this for months. Thank you so much. Those are the kind of calls that make me think, like, that's exactly why I do it. You know, it's like when you were teaching, you saw the kid's light bulb come on. You're like, he grasped the concept. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I still get that feeling when I do this with the senator.
Gotcha. Well, hey, I appreciate you sitting down and taking some time. We'll probably talk a little bit longer than you thought we were going to talk. But like I said, I just want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go out into other areas and different things. I do want to finish this up with one personal question because I think we have something in common.
Okay.
Still have your Great Dane?
I don't.
Oh.
I had 2 Great Danes, Maverick and Mimi. Those were my babies. I loved those things. You remember the Swiss Family Robinson Disney movie? And they had the 2 Great Danes on the island. That's one of my favorite Disney movies, and that's why I always wanted 2 Great Danes.
Gotcha.
But they don't last long.
Yeah.
My female passed when she was 6, got cancer, and I had to put her to sleep. And my male lasted to be 12.
Wow.
He was old.
Yeah, that's long.
He was very old, and he was my best friend, and his heart began to quit. And my mom called me one night and said, because when I moved out, he stayed with my parents, and Mom called me and said, something's wrong with Maverick. I'm going to take him to the vet. And so I left work. I went to see him, and we asked the vet, Dr. Crowley, to come to the house that night and put him to sleep. And so I got to love on him in the garage, and I was holding him when he fell asleep and passed away. And I will get more one day. But as of right now, I don't have the time or the place to house a horse. You know?
but you know, and we have Bazinga that I post pictures of all the time, and they're the most loving dog. I will wake up and her head right there laying, just wanting to snuggle with you. They're the greatest dogs.
190 pounds. You know, lap dogs, yes. Cuddle bugs. That's exactly. I would sleep in a twin bed. You know, at Mom's, that was my bed, and like the dog would climb in bed and be like, "Why are you bothering me?" He would look at me like, "I'm in his bed. Get out." You know.
Yeah.
But amazing animals, and I highly recommend the breed to anyone.
Well, thank you again for stopping by, talking to us a little bit, educating. Hopefully it's beneficial to everybody listening about what's going on. And we want to do more of these things to kind of let the people in Pendleton County know what's going around. So those of you who've stayed the whole time and watched, we appreciate you staying and watch. And I'm ready to finish my diet Snapple here that I got from BB Food Mart right across the street. So thanks again, and we'll see you all next time.